Today I'm working with this board that I picked up at Michael's. I just loved it with the large snowflake at the top. It's about 10 inches wide, 4 feet high, and I'm going to start by rolling on with a foam roller our white primer by Wise Owl to avoid any bleed through as I am dealing with wood. This board was about $25. It was a little bit more pricey, but I did get it 50% off, so I paid about $13. They had other really cute ones. They had a nutcracker. They had a snowman. Lots of fun ones there at Michael's if you want to go check that out. So I found this Snowman Face. It's kind of like that laser cutout. And I'm going to be really honest, I cannot remember where I picked this up. But by the looks of it, it just looks like something that you could grab at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or even keep your eyes open at our Dollar Tree. And I started by painting that with the foam roller and the Wise Owl primer as well. I hit it quickly with a dryer, but I did want to leave my paint lightly wet, as I do like when I'm painting for my colors to kind of blend in with each other and give it more that marble look. Kind of gives dimension to your paint. And I'm going to start by adding black to his hat, and then Republic Red to the scarf. Now we do have the 2-ounce paints at chalkitupfancy.com. We created 2 separate sets of 6 if you're interested. They really do go a long way on these smaller projects. And then I'm going to do the Mandarina for the carrot nose. Now, even if you have a hard time finding this particular laser cutout, many times you see these laser cutouts with the different holes, and this makes stir some ideas. So I just took the back end of my brush and carved away some of the paint to go down to the white, and just added some lines for dimension. I added some lines on the carrot nose. And now I'm going in with these little glitter glue pens. I picked them up at our local Dollar Tree. They usually come in green, red, silver, gold, and blue. And you can find them this time of year. I penciled in his body, and I'm taking some Elmer's glue and some hot glue to adhere him to my board, and at least we have the face there for us. And now I'm going to fill in some of the cutting out of this unfinished snowman head by filling in the eyes. The icicles I made silver, the eyes I made blue, the holly leaves I did the green, I did the silver around the edges, the berries I did in the red, and now the scarf I'm filling in with the gold glitter glue. I'm taking the little star at the top of his hat and filling that in with the gold. And there was a few holes here on the side of his hat that I wasn't quite sure what that was. So I'm going to leave that aside for now. His body, I'm going in with our Antique Villa that also is found in the 2-ounce paints. And it's just a little shade off from our the white, so you can start seeing a shape to his body. Misting some water. I'm going to add some smoky quartz, also in the 2-ounce. And I'm just going to outline his body and then go back with the brush I used for the white, and I'm kind of blending in the gray into the white, again just to give some dimension and shape to the snowman's body. I wanted to make this as simple as possible for you guys. I'm taking my large dabber and I'm adding 3 buttons. Now I'm going in with some metallic or heavy metal. It's the silver. And I'm using a fan brush just to dry brush the edges of the snowflake. And again, just giving this some interest. I'm gluing this checkered plaid bow to the hat using some hot glue. And then I'm just going in with some white and making these vertical and then horizontal lines just to give some interest to his buttons. I'm not doing anything perfect. I'm just quickly filling that in. And now I'm taking some Higgins Lake, also in the 2-ounce containers, and I'm filling in around his body, kind of the background, which is going to make him kind of pop out a little bit more. And I just filled in around the top and around the base, which was just a little portion with the Higgins Lake. While the Higgins Lake is wet, I'm taking some saran wrap and just dabbing it on there to kind of give it that textured marble sky look. So I wanted to finish him off with some nice wording. So I'm going to use our mesh stencil. This is by Maker Studio, and this is called Merry and Bright. It has a wreath that says, "It's a wonderful time of the year. We have Noel and we have Merry and Bright." And I just really want the lettering out of that wreath center that says, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." I thought that would look appropriate for the bottom of the snowman and give me some lettering for my porch leaner. So I'm going to take my mesh stencil off its protective backing, and that's something you want to put aside and hang on to, because once you wash your stencil with just clear water, you're going to dry it sticky side up, and once dry, you're going to want to put it back on that protective board. I'm using some painter's tape to block off the wreath, and here is my design by Prima rubber spreaders and my black ink. All this can be found at chalkitupfancy.com. This requires very little ink. I probably used way too much here on this plate, but I'm going to just pass it over using my rubber spreader, being careful not to go into the wreath area, and just making sure that I'm putting a light pressure so it goes through the mesh and onto my board. These stencils are very easy to work with. They are reusable. Again, you just want to wash them with water as soon as possible and dry them sticky side up. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, you can check us out on YouTube. You can now watch all our videos at chalkitupfancy.com. For any paint products, tissue paper, transfers, or mesh stencils, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much.